Oh, hello there. So, it's summer, it's a hot day, and what am I doing? I'm making flatbread. Flatbread and Mike's best hummus ever. Now this flatbread, well, it was suggested to me by the guys. They saw this online. They said, hey, you should do this. And I said, okay, but if I do that exactly, that would be copying someone else. So I was inspired by it. I made flatbread before, but this recipe was pretty good. I tried it the first time I tried it. I made a mistake. I added too much of the wet ingredients. It was a little big gloppy mess. I managed to work it out and cook it. Then I did it again correctly. Came out perfectly. Problem is that this recipe calls for buttermilk, and I'm not really a fan of buttermilk, because if I use the little amount I made, what do I do with the rest, right? I have to throw it out or drink it. And to me, drinking buttermilk is like drinking phlegm. Not a big fan. I don't really have a lot of, food phobias. That's one. My dad used to like buttermilk. He used to drink it. He used to eat blood pudding too. Mind you, blood pudding I didn't mind. Yeah, see, when I was a kid, I was raised by Klingons. Buttermilk, blood pudding, and on Sundays, roast targ and gawk. Anyway, enough of that. We're going to get started on this right now. Let's do it. So to make this flatbread, it's really easy, right? I got three different grains. First, 1 cup of all-purpose flour. 1/3 cup of spelt, 1/4 cup of oat flour, and a generous pinch of salt. Actually, that's good. All right. We're going to mix that all up. This part's the easy part. All you're doing is mixing these dry ingredients so that they're all well blended. Pretty simple, right? All right. Now comes the wet ingredients. As I said, I'm not using buttermilk. I'm using just regular milk, 3/4 of a cup. So we're going to just stir this up until it makes like a rough dough. Right? Like that. And this is where you want to get in there with your hands. Oops. Don't waste any of that. Okay. So get in there with your hands. You're going to form a ball. And hopefully you can scrape up all the rest of this stuff from the sides here. And hopefully I've done it right this time. I know I've done this before and it did work out very well. So you know how it is with me. Once I turn on the camera, things go haywire. You have to believe me when I tell you. So I've done that for a few minutes. Now I have myself a nice ball. You don't have to knead it very much, right? Just because it's a flatbread, right? It's not a Lazarus bread. Not gonna rise again. All right, there we are. There it is. We'll put a towel over that. We'll let that sit for about 15 to 20 minutes. That'll give me time to clean up this mess and make the hummus. All right, let's do it. Okay, it's hummus time. Now, here's the deal. Fresh garlic. If you can get fresh garlic, excellent. I mean, in the summertime, go to a farmer's market and you get this garlic before it's been, dried out. And look at that. It's fantastic. This is what I like. Okay. So I'm going to cut this up. Oh, sometimes there's a bit of... So I'm going to cut this up. Goes into the mortar. Okay, there we are. I'm going to crush that up. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's going into the blender, right? But this helps to release some of that wonderful aroma. Oh, and fresh garlic. It's like I say, it is the best when it's in season. Not constantly peeling that papery outer layer. All right, so that's good. Now, this is the way I make hummus now all the time. Once I discovered this, there was no turning back. Half a lemon. I'm gonna squeeze that in there. There are no pits in this one. I took them all out. Yeah. Give it a good old squeeze. I like to squeeze it this way because that way I know that I still have a grip. Right. And that's what we want right there. Okay, moving on. Okay, so first thing in, of course I drained some chickpeas. They're going to go in. In goes that lemon and garlic. Do it this way, you'll never be disappointed. And now, I have a special treat. I have some truffle flavored extra virgin olive oil. Can you dig it? All the way from Spain. All right, here we go. Truffle flavored extra virgin olive oil. Put a glug of that in there. Oh, I like it already. That is so choice. Oh my God. Whew. All right. And now, a bit of paprika. Here's something I like to put in here. These fire roasted red peppers. You can get them in a jar. They're so choice. Put a couple in there. I don't need a whole lot. Just enough. I think that'll do. And of course, tahini. A couple of teaspoons maybe 2 or 3. I'm gonna have to get some more. I use a lot of this, don't I? I do indeed. Oh, I think that's good. That's perfect. And one more thing. A bit of the aquafaba. A bit more. All right. Did I forget anything? No, I think that's it. Well, maybe a pinch of salt. Okay, on goes the lid. Plug it in. Now the idea is, of course, for me, you should blend it for a few minutes, at least 3 minutes. I'm not going to let endure you 3 minutes of, but you'll see what I mean. All right, after 3 minutes, well, I might blend it a bit more, but I want to taste it first, see how it tastes. Oh my God. Perfect. Lemon and the garlic together like that, especially fresh garlic, makes a big difference. This is the only way I do it now. Well, there are other ways, but anyway, so I'll show you this result once it's done, and I'll be back. Okay, So it's been resting for about 15-20 minutes. There it is. On the board it goes. Some flour on the board. Now the thing is, you want to put some flour on it, but you don't want to over flour this, because when you go to cook it, you know, if I'm going to cook it in a dry pan, you don't want it to burn, right? So there is my ball. I'm going to cut it into 8 pieces. Hopefully we'll get 8 flatbreads out of this. That's the theory, right? If I've done everything correctly. Okay, so take each piece, I'm going to roll it into a ball. Thusly. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? As you can see, this one's a little smaller than that one. Well, you know. Actually, what I did, I started doing this and I didn't have the camera on, so I had to do it again. Like I say, I had it perfect the first time. However, I wanted to show you the process. Maybe I should have a camera follow me around and see what I do when no one's looking. Yeah? You would be surprised how efficient things go. All right, so we'll roll these up and we'll get started. Okay, there we are. 2, 4, 6, 8. Right, look at the flour there. I'm going to take one of them and I'm going to flatten it out first of all. And then, I've got some extra flour here. With that knife. I'm going to roll it out. I don't necessarily have to make it round either. Make them kind of like there's too much flour on that. Uh-oh, hope that doesn't cause a problem. We'll see. Idiot moron. All right, that's about the thickness we want. Not too much flour on that one. I'll resolve that. Put it on our plate. We'll get to it. I'll do the same for the rest of these. A little bit of flour, you see. The fine line between too much and not enough. Okay, so you get the idea, right? There we are. Okay, let us begin. I'm going to start with a couple of small ones here. Pan is hot, pan is dry. Hopefully there's enough this flour on that. You know what? I think I got room for 3 in here. Perfect. We'll cook them for about 3 or 4 minutes on each side. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I think I put too much flour on that one. Well, now you get to see what happens when the smoke alarm goes off. Okay, let's see what happens here. It's starting to come together. Yeah, I can smell the smoke. I may have made a mistake with that one, but we'll work it out. Let it cook for a few more minutes. We'll get to it. You'll like it. Okay, these are the last two. Let's see what we've got going on here. You know when it starts to puff up a little bit too, that's always a good sign. So I'll let these cook a little longer. Flip them over again, see what happens. It's starting to smoke a little bit. Look at that. Not bad at all. And see it's starting to puff up a bit. I don't know if you can see that, but it's getting all puffy. Look, look, look. Oh my God. That's it. That's exactly what you want. I'm telling you. It's fantastic. I mean, they don't look pretty. They're not perfectly shaped or anything, right? But they will taste good. And they will serve my purpose. Oh yeah. Okay. I think this is pretty much done. I'm going to turn this off. And we'll get back to it. Here they are, looking pretty good, still warm. In the meantime, I want something to put on these guys. So I've got a couple of things here. Some cashews, a nice chili pepper. I'm going to bash these guys up. That's nice, right? Put that aside. Along with some pumpkin seeds. Nice chili pepper. Chili pepper. Like that. Flatbread. Take some of Mike's world famous hummus. Is that too much? Never. Never! Some pumpkin seeds. Some chili peppers. And some crushed cashews. Oh, can you handle that? I know I can. So I'm going to try this out right now, as I often do. All right, here we go. So good. Oh my God. Bread may not look pretty, but it tastes really good. When it's the right consistency. Especially when you fill it with wonderful things like this. Wow. Well, as I always say, I'm going to eat this now. So if you found this interesting, pardon me, my food in my mouth. So, if you found this interesting, entertaining, or you liked it, let me know. Smash that like button, leave a comment. You may subscribe if you like. It's okay. I'm going to enjoy this right now anyway, regardless of what happens. So, until next time, take care. Oh my God.